Hello, I'm Alan Masters, AIFD, the president of the Allied Florist of Houston and a school teacher at the Career and Technical High School in Pasadena, Texas, where I teach floral design. I'm hanging out at the Foldberg Pottery Gallery today with Miss Judy. We are distancing, we're doing everything we're supposed to be doing. We've got our gloves, we've disinfected, and we've spent just a little while now kind of foraging through the yard. There's some things laying on the tables here, and we're going to be making some arrangements today using a technique that's called Hana Kubari. It's a Japanese technique, and it's a way of creating a grid within a vase that you can design in. Now, Hana means flower. Kubari is split branch, which would be similar to this one here, so you see the split, or it can be anything that's used as a grid inside a vase in which you design using natural materials. So Hana Kubari is the technique that we're using. For those of you that are watching or that are not from the school, let me just tell you that a lot of this will be directed toward my students because they're going to be taking a test over this. So guys, pay close attention because you got to know all this stuff when we're doing the test, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. We work in a really great pottery vase, similar to this one, that is in a really neat kind of a brick red color. You're going to try to pull some things that are going to match that. So we're going to work with some amaryllis and a beautiful, what's called a Merlot red bud that we're going to be putting into this one. Now with the Japanese design style, it's a minimalistic style, so there's very little. And so what Hana Kubari is doing in its true essence is splitting a vase to a point that you have just a very little design space that's needed. And so using a branch similar to this one, you're going to measure it in to where it fits very tightly onto one side of the vase, clip it, and you've got a short piece that's got angled on both sides, and they're going to sit, actually we need to cut a little bit more here, and it will sit right inside the vase, similar to that. I've got to hold it right now. And then using this split piece from the other side, it doesn't need to be quite that large, you're going to measure it to where you can trap that piece in place. And it's going to be wedged in fairly tightly. So one of the things you need to make sure is when you're working with this, if your pottery is solid, make sure you don't have any cracks because you will split it open. This one is not. I know it has everything. So once that's wedged in place, you have eliminated this much of your vase and you'll be designing in this opening right here. So let's fill that with water. Get ourselves ready to go there. And we'll be using this, I'm in love by the way, this gorgeous Merlot red bud. I didn't even know what it was until yesterday when I cut it. I had to look it up. The leaves are always this beautiful purpley red color. It does look like a glass of red wine, but it is just a gorgeous, gorgeous tree. The whole tree is this color. And so we're going to take it, we'll cut just a bit off of the bottom, and then that props right inside that opening, similar to that. Very simple. It doesn't require a lot of work. You're going to drop that in. It's great that this is sweeping. You can with these as well. If you want to get more of a lead, you can use the other side and lead it that direction. I want it inside the original section that we're working on because it's the technique that we're doing today. So dropped in. Make sure that it's going to stay in place. We're going to use some of the red amaryllis. This is a star amaryllis. This is out of my yard. It is a beautiful variety, and this happens to be the paler red. Mine are usually a much brighter red. This is almost got a peachy cast to it. I think it's kind of neat when you mix it with this vase because you're going to pull a lot of the lighter reds out of the vase. So we're going to take it in very low against the vase, remembering that we're shooting for something very natural and very organic. In the way that it would grow. I would possibly want to move this one around. We can do this and lay one over so we can keep our amaryllis turned a little bit more. And it's as simple as that. Now, we're still in Texas. and so I have this firm belief that it's never done till it's overdone. And so we want to add, this is rock iris foliage. Again, it's out of my yard. I absolutely love it. And I like to think about foliages when they grow in nature. Now mine happen to all be straight up and down, but a lot of the times in nature you'll see broken foliage. And so you'll have a piece that's bent over. And so when you insert that, if you'll bend it, it gives some more of that movement. You'll have to find its place because again, you're designing into an opening rather than into something like foam. So find a place where it will stay. And if you need to, feed it through some of the leaves and it'll hold fine. It takes you just a second, but you'll get there. I also noticed that like this one has a brown tip on it. I'm okay with that because again, it's very natural, it's very organic. You can see it there. It's the way it would grow in the garden. There's a Western style of design that we're more accustomed to that's called the vegetative style. And in the vegetative style, you would use some dried and some fresh because it's what it looks like in the garden. It is very natural. It's the way things grow. And so we're okay with a little of that being there. Lay another piece in and just a third piece to work in our odd numbers that I like to work in. We're going to bend it right through here. And we've also created 3 different levels of this grass. Here, here, and here. And it's a very natural, very organic, beautiful style of design. And it's a great way to work in your vases without foam, without chicken wire, or anything else. Everybody's got branches around wherever you go. You can always design even in a largemouth vase with this style and keep it just down to minimal so that you can put that in your house. So there you go, the Hanakabari style in its traditional form with the split branch blocking in another one. And I think it turned out really cool. I'm gonna step out of the way, let you get a good view of it.